What's up? What's up? This is Lord Mav with the Black Moon Pack representing always. A little bit cold. I'm outside. It's kind of chilly. I don't know why, because it's springtime. But this is another segment of Real Thoughts. I would call it Real Thoughts Part 2. We still not up to real nigga news yet, because I've been taking a little break from the news. Even though the news, I love it, passionate about it, but at the same time, it depresses the hell out of me. So for right now, I'm just doing Real Thoughts whenever I can. Whenever I come up to something that sparks something in my head. So right now, I'm focusing on the flat earth theory. Not specifically the theory, but just about how people perceive the theory and how people go about denying it most of the time. So the first crazy part is just about your eyesight. When you walk out as a kid, before anybody tells you, which is usually in school, or a family member or friend tells you about what they heard in school, before you see any of that, you'll walk outside and you'll see, when you look up, you'll see that you can watch a star move from one position, and then it moves to another position. The sun moves from one position and goes to the next position. Sorry for the messes up, it's cold out here still, but the same thing with the moon. So the crazy part about the denial for the flat earth theory is that based on your eyesight alone, you would see that everything revolves around the earth. Now, I'm not saying that I believe in the flat earth. I currently don't believe in anything. I believe wisdom has to play a part in your beliefs, and like people say, wisdom takes time, and I think truly that it takes a bit of time to build up enough surrounding information for you to really believe in something. So don't be so quick to believe in anything just because somebody tells you. So with that situation, it's like, you hear the joke, you're going to believe, your lying eyes or what I tell you. And that's what they doing, they tell us. And it goes completely against what we see. If you look down the horizon, you see that it goes on forever, but they tell us it's a ball and that's just an effect. It's a lot of things that they tell us, but it goes against your sight. But that's fine. It's not fine, but that's just one point on my side. For the fact that they have pictures and all of this, if I showed you a picture of Bigfoot clear in the middle of New York City, you would be like, that don't make sense, because as an adult, about Photoshop, and that that's a possibility, that I could have just sat there, took a couple hours, fixed it up, put Bigfoot in the middle of New York, and it could look real as shit. But aside from that, why do you think that the government or NASA can't do the same thing? We know that they have agendas for things. Now, once again, I'm not saying that the earth is flat, but why wouldn't you believe that Bigfoot was in the middle of New York, but you would believe that a bunch of giant balls lit up through a faraway ball that seems to be hot and gives off enough light to light those things up? Why would you believe that? And it's all sitting in space in the dark, and somehow the light given from that is able to take a picture. So clearly, even if they, just to move one step forward, if they have the technology to take a picture in the blackness of space, then clearly they have things that we don't have. And that's always been a constant with our government, is that the technologies that we receive as the citizens always came from the military first, the real important stuff. Excuse me. We know that scientists was using I forget their name, Angels and Demons put me on to them, the movie. Shout out to Tom Hanks, doing all these shout outs to people I don't know. But CERN, the company CERN, look them up. They started the internet. Like, they had the idea to have a way to speak between scientists from across the world without having to set up networks, because I believe before you had to be on the same server. So they set up basically a big server, a giant server, to where people could connect to that server in a wireless way, and they could all talk to each other. So after that, they start thinking we can make money off of this, which is how every, piece of technology is. It's like we use it for this purpose. We figured it out as far as the government is going. Now we're gonna make it better, and we're gonna release the first version to the public to make as much money off of them as possible. And we always keep them 8 generations behind where we are. Try to calm my body down. Breathing helps when you're cold. But as far as that goes, we got Photoshop in like the early 2000s, I believe, or the late 90s, something like that, most likely. I don't use Photoshop. I'm not good at artistry. But if we got that then, imagine when the government had the ability to fix up a picture, And back in the day, not even talking about that, because we know for a fact that, movies had that ability to post an image on another image. So this has been around for a long time. So now you got to think about, imagine how long the government had it before movies was doing it, which is a long time ago, I should have recorded this in the daytime. I fell asleep. But basically, it's like you can't just believe that. This is the second point. You can't just believe that the earth is a ball because they have a picture. You can't just believe everything is revolving around the sun because they have photos of this, because photos can be doctored. And nobody has more of a reason to lie to the public than, the government, because they have control. No matter what government it is, I believe personally, it always comes a certain point where the government has to choose between being destroyed or lying to the public. And if you imagine, in your own family, if you had to lie to your kids to save them from something, then that's what you would choose. But I believe the government does it for power. I had a third point. The cold is erasing that from my mind. So we'll see. Let me get a minute to think. With this flat earth. That's probably it. I don't know. Just remember that. Don't just dismiss it. There's biblical talk of things revolving around the earth. I think it only makes sense. The moon doesn't make much sense to me either. How that revolves around and catches light from the sun and shoots off a different light. But it is what it is. We never know. It's not only going to take time at this point. Take a little time to figure out what's real and what's not real. But the government lies to us all the time. Remember that. Don't lean no way. Just figure out, the answers for yourself. And Black Moon to try to help. Black Moon Pack, we here to help a little bit with that. But you gotta wait till the Black Moon shines fully. And I don't know when that's gonna happen. People don't latch on to stuff too easy. We need them followers. So for right now, this was a real thought. Yeah, so I got a little sidetracked. I'm about to walk, so my voice is gonna be a little bit more steady. Get that little friction heat in my body. But, I know I already kind of signed out, but this is just like the closing up. It's real thoughts, It's just crazy to me. I gotta reiterate that people just deny things because somebody told them. Just because somebody told you something, and maybe even they told you something that was true before, that's the easiest way to trick somebody, is to, tell them something that's real and then follow it up with a fake statement or a lie. That's the easiest way to trick a person.
Hey, Joe.
How you doing? That's the easiest way to trick a person. Oh, y'all might have got a little clip of my real name in there. That's terrible. But it don't matter. What you just gotta do, you gotta look at all the signs. I would say to look up the flat earth theory if you even care, because most people don't care. They say it has no relevance in their life. But I say look it up, because a lot of the stuff has relevance just on the fact that if your government lies to you about simple things that won't even affect your day-to-day life, then what else are they willing to lie to you, especially when it comes to stuff that might make you angry. make you rebel against them. Just try to figure it out. I don't know. It's real thoughts. Real nigga news coming up soon. Maybe one tomorrow. I'll watch the news in the morning. Gotta take this driving lesson and whatnot. Cause if we gonna be Black Moon Productions, we're gonna have to go on the road. And I wanna drive. So I'ma sign out. Lord Mav, Black Moon Pack representing. Peace out. What's up? This is Lord Mav again. It's morning time now. Chilling out, 7 o'clock in the morning. It's too early for this shit. But I'm here again, not with a real nigga news entry. Sorry for the lateness on that. Excuse me. Had to do something real quick. I'm here with another real thought. Just on basically the culture again, our culture, and the way we perceive things in America. We see, as far as drugs go, is what I'm talking about. I tried to beat around the bush. But as far as drugs go, we see that, or illegal drugs, we see it as something bad. A lot of people in the country see it as something bad. But everybody takes part in something that's just like a drug, because it's releasing different things in your brain that make you want to do it over and over again. So it's nothing different between going out on a frequent basis and smoking crack. Basically, that's what I'm saying. And we also have the problem here of doing other things that's also drugs that we don't like to see as drugs. To see pardon me, to see alcohol. We see alcohol as something that's fine. You sell it in stores. You have a limit on it, 21 and older. You lock people up if they too drunk outside. But that stuff is poison, and we let it be sold. Like, that's the thing that we forget too about all of these things, is that it's all poison, Not one of these things is good for you in any kind of way.